So back with another exciting episode of War Machine. So we're gonna pick up where we left off on the last one. I was drilling the holes in the frame to mount the back bracket for the driver's side step. So let's get to it.
Okie dokie. Well, I know that was like a millisecond for y'all, but that was a few minutes of some fairly intense drilling because this frame rail is thick. It's like 3/8 of an inch thick, so it took a minute to drill through that joker. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit of a chore, but got it drilled though. So now we're gonna just take and throw our bracket up on here and get it bolted in. See how it looks. Get it bolted up. Now, one problem that I do have is this rail apparently is at a little bit of an angle here. So, and when the new bracket goes on, I've got this made to be at 90 degrees. Well, the problem is it needs to be a little bit more than 90, and my press, my brake will not bend it. It needs to be probably, I don't know, 100 degrees, you know, something like that. And I cannot get it there. So what I may have to do is just kind of sit it up there and get all the bolts and everything in it, and then come back and put this on and clamp it in place with like vice grips and kind of force that bracket out just a little bit, which it will kind of adjust the angle of the step just a shade. But I think once I step on it a time or two, I think it'll all kind of shake itself out, if you know what I mean. So that's my plan anyhow. So I'm gonna go grab some bolts and then we'll come back and see about bolting this thing together and see what it looks like.
All right, so just a quick look at the stock bracket versus the bracket that I've modified. Obviously this one on the left is the one that I've been working on, and the one on the right is going to be the rear bracket for the passenger side. So you see I went ahead, I got my mark made right here where I cut off the end. Didn't have to cut a whole lot off of it. Now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna measure from the top of this slotted hole right here to the center of this hole, and same for this one back here. And I'll go ahead and I'll mark them on this one, but I'm not gonna drill them just yet. You see I've got the red dots everywhere where I need to drill holes there in that mounting bracket so I can bolt it to the frame. I will go ahead and drill those because one way or the other, well, yeah, it should be okay. I'll go ahead and drill those. That way I can go ahead and mark them and be one step ahead when I get there to being where I need to be. So for now, I'm gonna probably dust a little paint on the end of this thing right here so it doesn't rust. I'm gonna dust a little paint right in here in these holes. Then we'll be ready to bolt this guy on there right quick.
Okie dokie. Let's get us some light turned on here. See if we can get something going on. Holes are drilled. Got a little paint dusted on this bad boy. Stick her up here, get some bolts started, and let's see what we can get going on here. Alright. Now, so surely by now you can see the stupid thing is on there. Now, let me find my impact. Kind of get it held in place here. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Alright. Now you'll notice I'm not putting the step on right now because I've already kind of got that all fitted. I've still got this little line on the frame here. I'm actually really happy with where it's all sitting. Yeah, it's actually sitting really good. So I'm gonna zip this other one snug here, see if it'll tighten up. Yeah, you did. All right, now, see if I can clamp this guy in place here so I can mark where I want my holes. Hopefully this little crappy pair of vice grips I brought over here will be strong enough to do what I need them to do. Probably not, because I'm laying underneath this stupid truck. Let's see. Hey, all right. And I'm actually really happy with that. Yeah, where'd my red pen go? Oh. Well, looks like I put it back up on the workbench. I'm gonna have to go grab it. All right. Easy peasy. Alrighty. So I'm gonna pop this dude off, get it drilled, and then we'll come back when it's time to stick it on and get it all bolted in place, and then we'll tighten them all up, put the step on, and if everything still fits good, I'll burn a weld here and here. We'll be in good shape. So let me pop this piece of metal off and go drill some holes. But I bolted it all up there. I went ahead, welded it there, welded on the front side, ran a little bead right here on the front, or the face of the frame rail. Everything bolted together nice and welded it up. So dropped it back off of there, shot a little paint on everything so it won't rust up, you know. Well, I mean, eventually it's gonna rust, but it ain't gonna rust immediately anyway. So now I should just be ready to bolt this thing up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and zip it all up nice and snug. Then I should just be able to bolt the step on and then get ready to start looking into doing the front arm and see what I gotta do to get that guy to work. So let's see about getting this installed. Well, that turned out pretty dang good. I am really happy with that. Now, Lord only knows what's going to be in the way to do the front one, but we're going to get to that next. But as far as this one goes, I am pretty stoked. I mean, I still got to come up with whatever kind of little pieces of rubber that I'm going to put right there, but that's not a big deal. I mean, this right here, this is all final mounted. It's done. It's painted. I'm really happy with how it all came out. It's got lock nuts on it. I just put regular nuts on this back section right now because I'm gonna have to take it on and off a few times to get the front one done. But you know, it's pretty dang good. One of them done, though, wasn't so bad. You know, just like anything, you just got to kind of take your time, get a plan together, and then you know, work the plan. So next up, I'm gonna try to stick this front one in here, and we'll see what we gotta do to figure out how to get that thing in there.
All right, well, I didn't bother trying to set the camera up down low so you can see because it is virtually impossible for this front one. So basically what I've done is I've crawled under there. You can see I've got my bracket in place, got the little red on there where I marked where that hole needs to be. I've got my quick grip kind of holding it in place. Now under here, as you see, I had to take the jack and kind of jack it up till it hit flush, and everything's kind of sitting where it needs to be. Now up there at the front, because the way the frame is shaped, I can only get 2 bolts through the original 77 bracket, you know, through this bracket, except the front one. I can only get the top 2 bolts into the frame up there, so I'm gonna have to build another one of those drop down brackets like that one for the front. But right now I went ahead, I'm going to be able to use the 2 holes that were in the bracket. I've already got them marked on the frame side, and I've got the 2 holes marked in the bracket itself where I need to drill them for them to attach here. So I'm going to pop that dude back out of there, drill those 2 holes, go ahead and get up in there and drill the 2 holes in the frame side. Then we'll come back when it's time to kind of fix it together and kind of see where we're at from there. Alright, so here we go. I got all my stuff down here and got my bracket right there. Got it all drilled, and I got my holes drilled in my frame right there. Now, normally the
fuel filter or pump, whatever, mounts right there on the inside of the frame rail. You got a nut there, a nut there, and a nut there. So it can't really go through from the outside with the bolts like I normally would. I'm going to have to try to come through from the inside and let the bolt stick out. That way I can bolt that back over top of it. So first things first, I'm going to stick the bolts through from the inside out, stick our bracket up here, kind of snug it down, then we'll come back and we'll bolt on our step and make sure that everything looks good. And if it does, then we got to figure out what kind of a bracket we got to make out of steel for right here. So I'm gonna see if I can find some way that you can see what I'm doing here and get to getting. All right, let's see how long that'll stay there without me knocking it over or something. So this is a pretty crowded area right in here behind this stupid pump. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself that I was able to get the holes drilled without somehow drilling through the pump or, you know, something like that, something stupid like that happening. That would be a real me thing to do. Yay, there's one. Now the key thing is going to be to get that bracket up on here without pushing those bolts back through. That should be fun. Ooh. Let's see. Of course, I managed to grip it in a way that I can't feel or see anything here. Whew. Got one. Now, let's see if I can get the other one. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Now, I'm going to try to put a couple standard nuts on here like we did before, enough to kind of hold this joker in place. I gotta get a washer and put on there. Kind of hold this joker in place. Looks like we're gonna need a pretty good sized steel bracket to go on the back side right here, which not a particularly large deal because I got a lot of steel. Okay, here we go. So there's that one. This might not be so bad after all. Well, I said that. Might be lying. All right, there we go. Good deal. Good deal. Let's see if I can just... Oh wait, that's got the wrong size socket on it. Crap! My other driver's on the other side over there. Let me slide back out. Shoo. Okay. All right. So this thing will move a lot of different ways right now, but it is kind of roughly hanging in place. All right. So this thing right now will move a lot of different ways, obviously, because it's not tight. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sit my step up here, and I'm gonna get my hardware snugged up hand tight on my step, make sure it's all located where I want. Then we'll snug this up and determine what our bracket's gotta be for the other side. Let's get this guy up here. I cannot wait till this is no longer in my floor. Won't be long now. What is the problem? Here we go. Okay. So, let me get a couple started back here. Come on. All right, there's that much. Grab two from here. Yeah. Alright, feeling pretty good about that. Now we gotta get some nuts started on these jokers. Let's see. Now I can also, I've got my little wood thing that I'm gonna throw underneath this just to kind of help hold it all in place here in a second. Because obviously the front's gonna sag until I get it all kind of sitting where I want it. I'm gonna get these dudes started though. Whew. Oh crap, I thought I had another nut over here handy. Maybe I don't. Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of roughly hold us where we need to be here. Did I not bring another one over here with me? Well, I brought all my lock nuts. Don't really need those right now though. All right, so I'm gonna grab me another, just a regular old plain Jane nut here. Yep, I'm gonna go grab one of those. Damn, I'm getting old. All right. Okay, so now she's at least sitting where I want. Everything should measure where I want. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of snug up these 4 bolts right now. And then that will kind of help me get against the frame where I want there as far as the up and down goes. It looks like I'm sitting just about flush. Actually, I think I'm gonna kind of cinch it up to the frame first. I want to pull tight to the frame, then I can kind of see if I want it to, because I'm snug enough right now that it's kind of touching the bottom of it. So if I can go ahead and get it to snug up to the frame now, I think I'll be where I want to be. Whew. Now I just gotta see if I can reach it. Not easily. Hey, there's one. Rock and roll, man. Now that went a lot easier than I thought it was going to. Man, there she blows. Hot dog. Well, that works right there. So it all looks good from there. So now I'm gonna have to crawl up under there. I don't know if I can get you where you can see or not. I'm gonna try though. Alrighty. So you can see how far it's hanging down. Right up there below our frame. So let's see. So it looks like I want to be. See, our bolt right there is at about 3 7/8 of an inch. So I'm gonna go down to 4.5 inches. So we're gonna go 4.5 long. Let me get over here so I can see how wide we gotta be. So 4.5 by 4 3/8 by 3. I think that's right. No. 4.5 by 4 3/8 by 3 1/4. So let's go and cut that out of some steel. Put us a 90 in it, and we'll stick it up there and get ready to drill some holes. So I'm gonna go make a bracket, and we'll be right back. Ow! Right in the head. Alrighty. So got my piece of metal here. So we gotta do the same as before. We gotta stick it up here, clamp it in place, and mark where we want our holes to be. Ooh, well, that lined up really nice right out the gate. Let's see here. Get her clamped up. Well, I'm pretty happy about that. That thing's sitting really nice, actually. Really nice. So get my paint pen in here. I've already drilled the holes in my bracket, if you remember from before. And I just gotta mark these bad boys. One. And I just hope like hell there's paint coming out of this pen right now. Yep, there is. And shit. Come on. And get that one marked up all good. One more. Let's see here. Alright, well, as long as that marked all those holes correctly, we'll be ready to pull this guy out and drill some holes in him. Remember, like I said, we're gonna weld this right here, so I'll have to climb under here with a grinder and kind of clean that off a little bit with a grinder. That way we can get a good weld on it. And then we will come back, bolt it together, weld her up, pop it all back apart, put some paint on it, and then this ought to be done. Be ready to bolt together for the final time. We'll put our fuel pump and stuff back on too. Let's see. Oh yeah, definitely got 4 good marks there. All right, so all drilled. Let's get her set up here and get some bolts run through it, snugged up, and then we'll be ready to weld her into position. Everything looks like it lines up nicely. That's always good to see. That's not the right size bolt. I don't know where that guy came from. That one is. And that one is. So now let's clamp him on here. All right, there now. So that's all fitting up very good. So now I gotta go find me 4 regular nuts that I can snug up. Be right back. Okie dokie. All right. Let's see what we can get going on here. Let's throw us a few washers on. So we got to get all of these ran up on here and tightened up. Then once you do that, we'll be ready to pull the step back off, which if you remember, they're just kind of hand tight. The nuts are just kind of hand tight on it right now. So I'll pop the step back off of it, not the bracket, just the step. I'll come in here and dadgummit, I forgot to clean that off with the grinder. Shnikes. All right, gonna have to clean that off. All right, so as I was saying, I will take the step off. I'll come back in here and I will put a weld on each side of it. Then I will pull the bracket off itself and go ahead and I'll put a weld on the kind of up here on the face of the rail a little bit. That way it can't pull away from it. Then I'll be ready to clean it all up, throw some paint on it. Hey, come here, you. Throw some paint on it and bolt it all on for the final time, which I am super excited about. But that's going to be all for this one right now. When we come back, it'll be time for final assembly. Alrighty. So now we got her all painted up and everything all looking pretty. So gotta get up under here and bolt this guy up on here. Then I got some stuff to put across the top. Remember it had those, I said it had some old rubber pieces that were there. I found some type of like rubber weather stripping type stuff at Home Depot that we're gonna put on there, and then we'll stick our step on and should be able to put it all together for the final time. So I want to roll under here, get this guy bolted on here, and then we'll put that stuff on there and see about getting this guy bolted on once and for all. That's pretty exciting. Well, y'all are gonna have to forgive me. For some reason, me and this camcorder just cannot get along here the last couple days. I looked at it, I thought it had enough battery. Apparently it did not. It decided to quit recording while I was in the middle of doing all this, and I didn't realize it until I got up to move some other stuff around and saw the lens was closed up on it. So, as you can imagine, I did go ahead and I got the bracket all bolted up nice and tight to the frame. I did go ahead and get the bolts put back in our high pressure pump, which was on the other side of the frame rail right there. And I got my rubber slash foamy sealant type stuff, whatever the hell this stuff is, that I got from Home Depot. I got it stuck up here. I cut some openings where the bolts will go through because it's pretty thick. That way I don't have to kind of fight it through. So hopefully that stuff works good. We about to find out. So now I'm just ready to stick the step up here and bolt them down, and then that thing should be ready to go. Should be ready for me to stand on and jump on and whatever else I feel like doing. So let's bolt it on. Well, and that, boys and girls, is that. I am super happy with how it turned out. It's all nice and flush the way it's supposed to. Should look real good sitting on the ground too. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side, except hopefully not have to fight around the high pressure pump. So I'm not gonna bother to film that because you just saw how it got done. So I'm gonna go knock that out now, and we'll be back. All right, well, that's a wrap. Was able to finally wrap up putting that step on. A lot of steps to it, pun intended. It really wasn't super difficult. It just kind of time consuming, to kind of get everything right and to get it mounted where I want it and all that. But man, it came out absolutely perfect. That is the exact picture I had in my mind of what I thought it would look like. And it's always good when something comes together the way that you plan it.
Like I said, not super difficult, but you know, it's about 100 ways I could have probably screwed that deal up too. So excited to get on to the next step in the process, and y'all are really gonna like that because it is really dope, and it's something that I have been excited to do for a hot minute. So for all of you that hung in this long, thank you very much. Everybody that supports the channel, thank you a ton for that. For all of you that don't, it'd be pretty cool if you would. We got the views, y'all are watching, so you must like the content, at least a little bit. Or even if you don't like the content and you think I'm an idiot, you're still watching, so might as well just come throw a little subscribe down on there for me. Would appreciate it very much. But whether you do or whether you don't, hope you come back for the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you then.